One.
Hello, Zion friends. Today, our Council President, Dave Thompson, and Vice President, John Bernhardt, would like to join me in giving you an update on Zion's current financial situation. Many of you will remember this prayer that is used after we give our financial gifts during our worship services. Blessed are you, O God, maker of all things. Through your goodness, you have blessed us with these gifts, ourselves, our time, and our possessions. Use us and what we have gathered in feeding the world with your love. Our offerings always have their source in what God has first given to us. Our offerings are to fulfill the call that we have from God to shine the light of Jesus Christ into a hurting world. Thank you for giving back what God has first given you. Thank you for your financial support of Zion's ministry this year in the midst of very challenging circumstances. 2020 will be a year etched into the memory of us as individuals and marked by historians in ways yet to be told. None of us, from the youngest to the oldest among us, has been exempt from the difficult events of this year. We are left wondering what normal will look like once we are finally through this pandemic time. One thing is certain: God has not left us alone, and the work of the Spirit of God will continue here at Zion and throughout the world. The prophet Isaiah, speaking God's message to people who were living as exiles, gave this command and promise: do not remember the former things or consider the things of old. I am about to do a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Our God is always at work, renewing God's people and God's world. While we may be feeling discouraged, now is not the time for despair.
Hello, my name is Dave Thompson. I'm the Congregational Council President. As we look forward to what God has in store for Zion, we want to do our best to finish 2020 on a strong financial note. It is not surprising that our income is down in 2020. Only a fraction of our worship services have been in person. Envelope offerings, the Easter offering, and our loose offerings this year are down over $20,000 from last year. Our building use fees are down about $5,000. While some expenses are also down due to COVID-19, the reality is that so far in 2020, our expenses have exceeded our income by over $27,000, even though we have reduced our budgeted expenses. If our current giving trend continues, our deficit would grow to $35,000 to $40,000 by the end of the year. We have a little over a month until the end of the year to try to gain some ground with our 2020 income. I realize that the pandemic has had a serious negative effect on our families, on the finances of many of our families. We are not asking struggling individuals and families to increase their offerings to Zion at the expense of providing for their basic needs. However, we do want to keep you informed of Zion's financial condition and situation and encourage those of you who are financially stable to prayerfully consider an over and above gift to help put Zion in better financial position by the end of the year. Our checkbook balance is in the black only because of a generous payroll protection grant that our leadership team applied for and received this spring. This may be a one-time grant, and even as the pandemic continues, we cannot count on financial infusion of this type in the future.
Hello, my name is John Bernhardt, the Vice President of the Zion Church Council. Not only do we want to have a strong finish to 2020, our goal is to put ourselves on a good financial footing as we move into 2021. If you haven't been a financial contributor to Zion's ministry or have made minimal sporadic gifts, We encourage you to take some time for some personal reflection as you consider your individual or family budget. Moving from being a once-in-a-while giver to one who is giving intentionally on a regular basis is a great place to start. Begin by considering, perhaps even writing down, all the ways that God is providing for you, your time, your possessions, your very life itself, and pray a prayer of thanks for God's abundant provisions. Then pray a simple prayer asking God to guide you in how to give back what God has first given you. Make firm commitments. Perhaps automatic giving is the best way for you to meet and make these commitments. This can be done through the Gift Plus mobile app or the Simply Giving service, both of which are linked on Zion's website under Giving. For those who are already giving automatically, please consider an increase in financial support both this year and going into next. Be open to the joy that God has for you in offering yourself and your possessions to our God, who is always providing for us and always present with us in every aspect of our lives. We don't know what 2021 will bring. We don't know exactly what the church will look like in 2021, but we can be confident that God is at work doing new things both here at Zion and in the world. You and I are given the responsibility and privilege of being God's people at this place and time. All of us living and working together under the guidance of the Holy Spirit are important parts of sharing the light of Jesus Christ through our words and actions. Watch for more specific financial information in the Zion Weekly Update, the December newsletter, and on our Facebook page. Thank you very much for your attention and your support of Zion.
On another note, the Lead Adult Education Focus Group will be emailing an invitation to congregation members to complete a short survey in the very near future. Please review and respond to this survey as soon as possible. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your time and talents as together, we, members of Zion Lutheran Church, continue living out our mission for an inviting, nurturing, and serving future. Thank you.